Hi friends, my name is Michaela Bell. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be sharing a little bit of a long conversation I had with my friend Jamie Leigh. She is a renowned esthetician and the founder of Modern Holistic Skin in Atlanta, Georgia. One of the things she is known for are Gua Sha facials. So much more than that, but that's one of the things she's known for and has a ton of knowledge in skincare tools. This video is going to help anybody who wants to improve the look and feel of their skin. If you want to use Gua Sha to help you lift, sculpt, get rid of fine lines and wrinkles. It does incredible things for the skin, and I want you to use it the right way so that you get all the benefits. So let's jump into this conversation with Jamie Leigh, founder of Modern Holistic Skin.
So we are going to do a little bit of a Gua Sha tutorial because, I mean, it is working with the lymphatic system, right?
It's more lifting connective tissue.
Lifting connective tissue.
Yes.
What about
And
lymphatic drainage?
you can do lymphatic drainage with a Gua Sha, but it is not really designed for that. A roller is designed for product penetration for sure. That's how a lot of people use this. But I look at it as it is a lymphatic tool.
Okay.
So these are two different tools.
Okay. Yes.
For different purposes, and both, quite frankly, should and can be used. I will say first and foremost, if you do Botox, if you do have fillers, that is something that needs to have very much consideration when using a Gua Sha. You can move Botox. You should not be going into the cheekbone aggressively or at all when there is filler. So these things are not really discussed of the integrity behind these tools. That is actually where I don't really do any tutorials on Gua Sha other than you, Michaela, because there is a level of liability, in my opinion, because you are moving the muscles, and most people do not know the muscles of the face.
Right.
So you do that repetitive movement in the wrong way every night. Some women are doing this. Not good.
Right.
So that's where I'm glad we're doing this to clear some things up. Anyone getting Botox and having fillers needs to be extremely mindful if they are using Gua Sha.
Okay.
So,
and so if you're not,
yeah,
you also still need to be mindful.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. And sometimes too much oil can be on the face. There does need to be some oil for glide, but it should not be an excessive amount, because when there is an excessive amount of oil, you're not in contact then with the tissue. What you would normally put on as like a serum, shall you say, which should be 3 to 4 drops. Maybe when doing Gua Sha, you use 1 or 2 drops. So less. To have the tissue, yes.
Okay. So if I just do like 2 pumps.
Yeah. And it's not a lot, and you can just, put it here, and kind of just make sure that the face has it's hydrated, it's moisturized, but it's not slippery. It should not be slippery. You should not be an oil slick by any means.
Got it.
Do you feel like that is enough there?
I do. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Just like a roller and a Gua Sha, both must start on the neck. And the neck is critical because it is the opener. And if this is, constricted, closed, then essentially nothing in the face flows. So you have to open this to then move this or drain this into here. So it's kind of like and then you're going down to drain. Gua Sha lifting is always up. Okay. Draining is always down. Yeah. You ready to start?
Yeah. And
or do you have any more
stone
questions?
Looks a little different than yours. Can you tell me about your stone?
Well, I mean, I use an array of stones. I mean, in facials, I have like 5 different stones I use. Okay. However, a lot of them are intimidating, especially the professional ones. However, I love this one. Well, first and foremost, it's stainless steel.
Mm.
And so it is unbreakable. It's very simple. It's small. It has enough weight in it. It's not intimidating, and it's great to do all things.
Love that. And where can you get
Yeah.
where can you get that one?
My online store,
Okay.
under beauty tools.
Beauty tools. Okay.
Yep.
I'll have that linked in here. All right. Well, let's get started. I even have my candle lit. It's a vibe over here.
I love it. Okay. So first and foremost, you just want to angle the arch. Do you have an arch on yours? No. Okay. This I'm like pointing at the
This one
camera.
or here?
That one, yes. That side, yes. And you want to go to the side of the neck where like the groove of the collarbone is, like here, and you want to taunt. Taunting the skin is critical. Taunting means supporting.
Yes.
If you're not supporting the skin, you are then moving the skin. We do not want to move the skin or stretch it, of course. You want to stretch the tissue. So, firmly holding the skin, and where you'll feel a little bit of a pull or a stretch. Then that's when you glide medium pressure, flat, the stone up. And do this repetitive times, always, moving to support. If you have thyroid conditions, do not go over the thyroid. But I'm going to take this off. The main port where you feel the hollowness dips in the very beginning of the collarbone. You can even go right at the start there and go up. Also, the back of the neck. Opening up all of this and taking even the edge side that you have and doing this, getting all this moving. And this is supposed to cause friction, and it will cause you to become red, essentially, because that's circulation, which is blood flow and nourishment. So when you're doing this, you are feeding yourself, literally. And all of this needs to move, because this is stagnation. This is, we're on our phones, we're looking down. This becomes very constricted. Anyone who's on the computer a lot, this gets, like crunked, essentially. So, opening this all up, underneath like the occipital ridge here, so much tension is in here. All of this, and getting this like really moving. And if you feel things, you can always don't be afraid of this tool in a sense of that. Now, when you get around the eyes and that type of stuff and the cheekbones, different story. But get in here, and even like taking at the back of the shoulder and like getting in here. All of this needs to like release. So, and then, once you've done that and all, then you can come to like, front of the neck here. Now, this is where much consideration and care and slowness needs to play out, is your little divot groove that you have, putting that underneath the chin and starting it perpendicular, but then laying it flat. Now, this is where most often you are going to feel bumps. That is hardened fluid and tissue, which is stagnation, which is no immune system, which is also why a lot of times you break out in this area. Is it hormonal, or is it a stagnant lymph?
Wow.
So this needs to go a little slower.
Okay.
And if you hit like a bump, slow it down. And if you want to too, you can still take the teeth side and a little bit with heavier pressure, kind of start to break it up. You can even go like, Gua Sha is designed, the word Gua Sha is meaning to scrape. These are designed to scrape, which is why, you don't, the face obviously needs to be in different consideration than the body when Gua Sha is done on the body. But it is designed and meant to break up stagnation. Like, be patient with those bumps if you have them, and most everyone does.
Okay.
So just doing that, then you can get into the side that you were gliding up with, that side. You can just like come up here. Again, if you have fillers, be very gentle with this. And this right here, the lip.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Can you see it? Like
Mm-hmm.
lifting this up. Then you can take, again, supporting, going above the lip and stretching. Support and stretch. And you see how that automatically creates the crevice of the cheekbone.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can go into the cheekbone here. Again, be very careful if you have filler in the cheek. And you can do that a few times, no more than 3.
3.
Yes. And you can take the edge, your curved side,
Mm-hmm.
and go into the bone there. Up. Yep. And go, it's literally like, yep, you got it, Michaela.
Okay.
Yep. And then around the eyes, taking that flat side again.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And taunting the nose. This is where you have to be very delicate, but going in. And even if you have to do it little by little, slide, regrip, pull back, slide, regrip, and I will say too, this is another very big area of stagnation because the lymphatic muscles are very small around the eye. And a lot of times there are bumps there. And so very delicate with the eye area there. And then, pull that all the way up. Yeah. You can take the divot side. What do I say?
Yeah.
And you can, now again, if you do not have Botox, if you have Botox, I would recommend you waiting a month after your injection date, a full month, to make sure that this is properly healed. Or don't do it at all because it breaks it down.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can lift up here and hold. And again, you can taunt the nose tissue down. This is amazing, obviously, for 11s, but there's a lot of tension. If you have 11s and deeper lines in here, you can support by stretching this, taking the edge teeth side and kind of giving this a little. This is similar. I'm not going to say similar. Okay. Microneedling. Microneedling is essentially damaging, you're puncturing the tissue to create a response. And there's multiple responses in that. It's going to be another truth bomb coming soon. However, Gua Sha with the teeth can do the same thing without damaging the tissue.
Wow.
You're creating tension there, alertness as well, and go into I'm like doing this. The camera is so small I can't well, you can do this, I guess. The eye, again, be very careful with the eyes.
Yeah.
You can go and lift right here, hold. Yep, there, and then pull back. Yep. You know when there's a resistance. When you have a little bit of resistance, you got it. And then hold back here. If you have, lines in the forehead, you can taunt and, give it a little zigzagger.
Almost like an eraser.
I have a facial called the Erase Facial, and that is actually what it does. So when you're essentially creating stimulation to the connective tissue. And that is allowing it to release water, which is how we're able to lift the muscle. But you're also, you're building collagen and elastin when you use Gua Sha, because you're, again, innately working with the tissue. And this is why it is longevity, simply because, again, the tissue is life. And then when you're, have done all that stuff, this should not be long. You can just take everything and kind of smooth it all out. Again, always taunting the skin And you're going to start to move the fluid down lightly. And then when you get to the neck, you can move it down, or I suggest then using a roller.
Okay.
And rolling, opening the neck, rolling lightly, and just making sure you can take the smaller side of this and go down the nose. This is, under eye dark circles. It's an adrenal. It's not moving. It can be an adrenal issue. It can be also liver, but at the end of the day, it is the lymph not moving things out. And
So
this teeth side too, you can do that and just like lightly brush the face. This is clearing. So you can lightly just do this and then bring it all down, go back down. And then I love going under the collarbone and moving it all to the underarm, which is where all the fluid that you've been moving is then properly drained to then excrete into the sweat glands as sweat. Much more than what people think this tool is. And also, it is critical to use correctly. It really is.
Should you do one full side of the face, or do you go like you do this side and then you
for people at home, I do like doing both side. You do one side, then you do the other, simply because when you do one side, it is not going to be equal to the other side. So making sure they are both equal. So yes, opening up this side, going under. And often too, you're going to be heavy on one side that you're using your hand on. So that side's going to become then over time more lifted than the other side. So that's why equalness of going, yes. And also building the hand that's not your dominant hand.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're working on this side, the right side of your face, let's just say, you're using your left hand to kind of support it for the most part, to like taunt the skin.
Yeah.
And then the
you
other
would
side,
taunt.
switch it.
And sometimes you have to, what I would do on this side, it feels a little awkward. So sometimes I'll like flip it.
Okay. I like this one. I don't think I've ever done this before.
Yeah. And then you can get like support and get in here. You can lift the cheekbone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's amazing.
I really feel people should work a little bit on the jawline, because this is really responsible for breakouts.
Yes.
Very much is.
Currently breaking out at the moment.
And when you are using a Gua Sha, you are moving things. Some things you might purge. Some things are there and you're moving them out. This is why I always go back to supporting the immune system, having adequate levels of that.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you recommend, how often should someone do Gua Sha?
I mean, twice a week is ample. It does not need to be an every night thing. I do think you should roll though every morning, and at night too. That's fine. But rolling is critical. Rolling and dry brushing is critical in the morning for the lymph system, and Gua Sha is great at night.
Okay.
And rolling, of course, but
I love Gua Sha at night. It is so relaxing.
And the reason for that is because the Gua Sha hits every single acupuncture point on the face, and all organs, systems, all of their nerve endings end in the face, the hands, and the feet. So that's where it is therapeutic.
Yeah.
To do this at night, because essentially you're like giving love to the nervous system, which again is critical for sleeping.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much to Jamie Leigh for spending some time with us today, and I hope that you were able to glean some knowledge from her. I know that I was. Thank you for being here on this channel. If you hit like or subscribe, it really helps the YouTube algorithm say, hey, maybe we should put this in front of more eyeballs. Thank you again. We'll see you next time.